All right, Harley-Davidson Softail Standard. This guy's got a lot of goodies on here. I'm actually been really excited to ride this bike since it came in. I like the T-bars. I personally like the high bags. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, for me, it feels like it just gets the bags up and out of the way. To each their own. If you made it this far, you probably don't mind them either, or you're okay with changing them. So definitely a higher handlebar position, but I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. It's still right there at the shoulder, so it's not even illegal. And also I feel like that's also a good reference for just if it's going to be comfortable or not, because anything higher than your shoulders, I mean, think about it. Put your hand in the air for 10 minutes and tell me how your shoulder feels, right? Not very good, I'm sure. So yeah, I'd say this passes the test. You know, it's right there at the shoulders, maybe like an inch higher than I might prefer, but who am I to judge? This bike is definitely good looking. I feel like it really gives you that club style look a lot of people are going for. You know, this bike definitely handles the club style look pretty well. You know, all blacked out, loud bike. This guy messed up my balance. Loud bike, all blacked out, LEDs. I personally am a big fan of the club style look. I know it's not very original anymore, and definitely not purists. You know, purists don't get too happy from the club style look, but I like it. I like the blacked out style. If you're going for that club style look, I think this bike really has it already. It's not much you need to do here. If anything, out of fairing and you're good. So this has that Milwaukee-Eight updated motor, a lot less rumble than a lot of other Harleys, and plenty of torque. Yeah, these 107s are amazing, or these Milwaukee-Eights are amazing. They just sound like thunder. Listen to that. I mean, tell me that don't sound tough. Yep. Here's the wind. And probably the hardest part about this bike is the wind. There's no wind protection here, so the faster you go, the harder it'll be. I will say these highway pegs are pretty much out of reach for me personally. I don't think that's what they're meant to be. I think they're just safety bars. There's not much you're gonna need to do here. This bike feels pretty great. Counter steer is just fine. Definitely not a bike for a beginner. There's two things that get beginners, and this is what I tell pretty much every newer customer that walks in the door. Two things that get beginners. One is horsepower and the second is weight. This bike may have too much of both. It does have a lot of kick, and I can imagine if you put that throttle on at the wrong time, this rear tire will come right around on you. And I just have to breathe on the throttle to keep this thing going, on the throttle without having something like that happen. And if you're doing that at the middle of your corner, you will high side or you will low side. So yeah, I would say have some experience before you get into this bike. You know, if you need to, go pick up a Rebel 500, at least something, because this bike is serious. Over bumps and stuff, suspension doesn't feel too bad. Definitely no problems on the road snakes or anything like that. Yeah, the sound on this, man. I will say the clutch pull is still very Harley, still heavy. Not sure there's much you can even do about that, unfortunately, on a Harley. I'm sure they make a hydraulic clutch conversion out there somewhere, but I've heard Harleys have had issues with hydraulics before, on the clutches at least. They're putting them on their newer big bikes, but I don't know if time has had the time to really test that out. Around the town, this bike is pretty comfortable. I'm getting a lot of wind, which is cool. You know, if I'm not hating the wind, I'm usually wanting it, right? If it's hot, the bike's getting hot, I'm getting hot, we want some wind. And I can definitely tell this bike will give you some wind when you want it. Overall, this thing sounds pretty good. It reminds me a lot of the lowrider, actually, just not as low. But and yeah, that torque is the best part of this bike, man. And the sound. I really do enjoy the sound here. I will say the rear brake isn't as like strong as I would want it to be. I know that we go through and check all brakes, but I might go with some upgraded pads. I like to really put my trust into the rear brake on these bigger bikes when it comes to low speed maneuvers. A lot of people like to grab this front brake, and it just leads to a lot of issues when you're on these bigger bikes, especially with a taller handlebar. I notice it just snaps more, and that can really catch you off guard. So, but overall, seating position, not bad. I might go a little bit lower on these bars personally. I feel like I look like a weirdo sometimes when I'm talking to myself in this mic. I'm making all these hand gestures. That's okay. Some of you heard me say in my other videos is, who cares what other people are thinking? Enjoy your bike, man. Get what you really want. I've had dudes come in looking for Harleys that really wanted sport bikes. Dudes coming in for sport bikes really want Harleys. And I'd say don't waste your money on anything that you're not passionate about. Bikes are tough, and bikes can sometimes get you in a spot, and part of the only thing that's going to keep you riding is your love for your bike. If you hate your bike and you hate how it rides, there's another reason to quit. I'm talking about those random low sides, random crashes, incidences, random financial burdens with bikes, tires, engines, things happening. That stuff will make, I have seen people quit because they just didn't have the passion to continue their bike anymore. Don't be that guy. Also, a good thing to mention is that all of our bikes do have the option for an unlimited mile warranty. It does usually come at an extra cost. Oh, he's getting lit up. That hurts. Oh, it's because his car is spitting white, man. No way that thing passed smog. Well, good luck to you, soldier. Yeah, this bike is something serious. Don't get this bike without experience. Overall, final impression, I love this bike. It's hard for me to notice a ton of differences between this bike and a lowrider and other Softails, but just overall impressions from this bike is it's very squared off, you know, feet right in front of you, chair position, arms right in front of you, chest press position, and the torque is very strong. So make sure you know what you're doing. You can find this bike online. Give us a call on ONYXMOTO.com. Thanks for watching.